Long ago in Italy, there lived an old clockmaker named Geppetto. Tick, tick, tock. Tick, tick, tock. Went all the clocks in his shop. When he worked, Geppetto felt happy. But when he rested, a sad feeling came over him. Ah, he would think. All my life and no child to call my own. So, one day, Geppetto carved a puppet from wood in the shape of a boy. He made the arms and legs of the puppet so they could move. He cut and sewed a nice outfit for it as if it were a real boy. "I will call you Pinocchio," said Geppetto. That night, Geppetto laid the wooden puppet down onto the bed. From out of the window, a big star twinkled bright. Geppetto looked out the window to the twinkling star. "Bright star," said Geppetto. "If I could make one wish, it would be for a real boy of my own." But of course, he knew that was not possible. That night, the same big star swooshed right into Geppetto's room. It changed into a blue fairy. The blue fairy flew over to the bed. "Little wooden puppet," said the blue fairy, "in the morning, you will be able to walk and talk like a real boy." She tapped the puppet one time with her wand. "And if someday you can prove that you are brave and true, you may become a real boy." Pinocchio's eyes opened. "One more thing," said the blue fairy. Suddenly, a cricket appeared. He was dressed mighty fine and could talk. "Meet the cricket," said the blue fairy. "He will stay with you to help you make wise choices." And with that, the blue fairy went swoosh and was gone. Out of the window and up into the night sky. When Geppetto woke up the next morning, he said, "I will go take my puppet out of bed." But the bed was empty. "Here I am, father," said Pinocchio from the other side of the room. Geppetto swung around. "What? You can talk?" "Yep. I am Pinocchio, your boy." "How can this be?" said Geppetto in shock. Then he said, "But who cares?" He rushed over and swept the wooden puppet into his arms. "Pinocchio, my son," he said in great happiness. One day, Pinocchio said, "I want to go to school like other boys." "Of course," said Geppetto. But he did not have the money to buy school books. Later that day, Geppetto came back home with school books. "Now you can go to school," he said. "But father, where is your warm coat?" With a wave of his hand, Geppetto said, "No need to worry about that. What matters is that you will go to school tomorrow." He did not want Pinocchio to know he had traded his warm coat to buy the school books. The next morning, Pinocchio said goodbye to Geppetto. He skipped along the path to school, humming as he went. The cricket rode on his shoulder, happy too. Coming up to them on the path was a fox and a cat. "And where are you going on this fine day?" said the fox. "I am going to school," said Pinocchio. "On such a fine day as this," said the fox. "It is too nice to be stuck inside school. You should come with us to the fair." "Listen to me," said the fox. He put his arm around Pinocchio's shoulder. "Anything you need to know, you can learn at the fair." "Really?" said Pinocchio. "Take it from me," said the fox. "Pinocchio," said the cricket. "He does not know what he is talking about." The fox covered the cricket with his hat. No one could hear the little fellow as the cricket tried to call out, "Pinocchio, do not listen to him. Okay, said Pinocchio. Let's go to the fair. And off they went. What a fair it was! By the gate was a man dressed in white. He called out, come in, right this way. Get your tickets here. With a sad look, Pinocchio said to the fox and cat, I do not have any tickets. A man was selling old things at a table near the gate. He called, hey, you! Sell me those new school books of yours. That is how you can get money for tickets. The fair was so bright and colorful and exciting that the next thing Pinocchio knew he had sold his school books for tickets. No, Pinocchio, stop, called the cricket,
who finally got out from under the fox's hat. But Pinocchio, the fox and the cat did not hear him. They were already inside the fair. On stage was a puppet show. I am a puppet, too, said Pinocchio. I can dance like that. He jumped right onto the stage and started to dance with the other puppets. Look at that new puppet, someone called. It has no strings. No strings, said another. Amazing. Everyone laughed and laughed. They threw coins on the stage. The man who ran the fair saw coins fly onto the stage. Well, now, he said, rubbing his chin. This puppet with no strings will make me rich. The next thing Pinocchio knew, he was picked up and thrown in a bird cage.
In the next moment, the door was locked shut. Hey, get me out, called Pinocchio. But the person who had thrown him in just left the room. Only the cricket heard Pinocchio's calls. The cricket ran back and forth in and out of the bird cage, trying to find a way to free the lock. But he could not unlock it. I am stuck, cried Pinocchio. How did this happen to me? All of a sudden, poof, there was the blue fairy. Please, said Pinocchio. Can you help me? Tell me something first, said the blue fairy. How did you get inside that cage? Tell her what happened, said the cricket. Could he really tell the blue fairy what had happened? What would she think of him? I was robbed, said Pinocchio. Is that right? Said the blue fairy with a frown.